Okay, today we're gonna maintain our batteries. What we have here is 8 6-volt batteries. Um, they're L16HCs, manufactured by US Battery. Okay, they're about $300 a piece retail. Okay, so first what we do is I'll explain to you how we have these two battery banks designed and wired. What we have here is two different rows, which we would consider a string. And each string has 4 batteries that are series together, which is positive, negative, all the way throughout. Okay, so we have 2 strings of these, and they're underneath my mobile home. This is actually a little addition, which is my laundry room. Okay, the downfall to having them down here is that they're really hard to get to and they're hard to maintain. But I wanted them out of my laundry room where the gases aren't escaping into my home, as well as they stay at a cooler temperature down here, as well as they're out of the way. So there are advantages. I wish there was just a little more space. Okay, so what we're going to do first is, as you can see, there's a lot of dirt and buildup on these batteries because they're pretty much almost exposed to the weather and everything. They're under the house, but there's just one skirting that goes in between. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and wash them all down to make sure I can get all this debris off the top of them, because what you don't want is to have any of that getting into the batteries while you're actually filling them with the distilled water. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get the hose and get started with that. Okay, so rinsing them off here. I have a pressure washer. I really don't want to have to break that out. But what I'm going to do here is clean them off as good as I can with the hose right here. Then I'm going to let them dry because I'm going to have to work down here and stuff. So we'll go ahead and go to the next step a little later. My positive, negative coming through the floor, and then my inverter, of course, is up in the house. Everything's clean now, and we went ahead and got our distilled water here, and like a turkey baster that you get right out of the supermarket. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go in here. I already did these 2 batteries. They're super hard to get to, and we'll go ahead and do this one. So just open them up. Okay. Alrighty. And go ahead and look down in there and see that they're pretty low. I haven't checked these batteries in about 4 or 5 months, and I really recommend checking your levels at least 2 or 3 months is probably max that you want to go when you're on a freestanding system like this. Okay, so basically take your plunger in here, and it's considering my setup with these batteries underneath the house, it's really difficult. Like a true golf cart guy or something would measure every one of these cells and actually get the fluid perfect in them. But since mine are so hard to get to, what I go ahead and do is fill them pretty close to the top. When they start to overflow, I just will go ahead and pull a little bit out. Then I know they're almost to the top, and they say, oh, don't overfill them, but really, if you do overfill them a little bit, all it really does is they'll start to cause that oxidation on top of the batteries or whatever. But if you keep everything clean and stuff, it doesn't seem to be a problem, because the longevity of the batteries are usually around 5 years. Now this is my second set of legit batteries. These are actually forklift batteries. They work great. They're deep cell 6 volt. and you know how much power a forklift has. So they really do great for a house. They recommend these as well. So no matter what you have, if you take care of them, they'll last a lot longer. And what happens is when they're low in water, they overheat. So the level gets low. And another thing a lot of people don't realize is that the moisture, the water, definitely dissipates, but the acid never really does. So what you're doing is, as long as you keep this distilled water going, you'll keep your batteries fresh. Okay, so I just went through the process of topping off all my batteries. It's really difficult down here, not a lot of space, so it took me about 30 to 40 minutes probably. Really awkward back-breaking work, even though you're really just squirting water into a little hole. It's just so hard to get to. Okay, so now I went ahead and got a voltmeter here so I could test. So awkward. It's always easier to have a helping hand, but a lot of people don't always have that. I'm definitely one of those type of people that learn how to do stuff on my own all the time, because there's really never anyone here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just check 6 volt, one 6 volt battery, and I'm at 6.5 on this battery. Okay, now it's a very cloudy day for California. I didn't even expect this kind of weather, but as you can see, very minimal sun, probably about 50% sun getting through. So let's just say like half my panels are working or less. Okay, so we'll go ahead and check this battery here, and it's at 6.7. okay, this one's at 6.6. okay, so what's happening is they're starting to level out. Okay, they don't evenly evaporate water. For some reason, you know, some batteries will run hotter than others, depending on which side of the bank they're on or what have you. Sometimes the water level's low to begin with, and there's so many different other reasons that I probably could never explain or even understand. So anyhow, now that all the water levels are basically evened off and everything, now the batteries will be working as one again, because what happens is when your batteries get low, the lowest batteries will be your weakest ones, and then those will be drained, the first to be drained. Okay, so like if you have a flashlight, there's 4 batteries. The weakest battery is going to be drawn down to nothing before the other 3 batteries are. So what will happen is you could just replace that one battery and use those other 3 batteries for quite a while. You'd be surprised. So normally it's basically the same thing with these big batteries. You know, a battery's a battery. We're at 6.5 here. Now, another big reason for the fluctuation that we're seeing right now is the sun might be getting through a little bit better a minute ago, because it's 6.6 on this one. Go back here again, and then we're at 6.5. Yeah, so damn it, we're at 6.6, so we're within 1/10 of a volt on these ones.